when I was first in prison camp, after about a couple of months, I should think, the Canadians in the camp received these logbooks in their Red Cross parcels, which the chap in the next room to me, he wasn't interested in this logbook at all, and I decided to buy it from him. The currency in those days was chocolate bars, and I gave him 3 chocolate bars for this logbook, and so I started to keep a diary.
Mm-hmm. Could you perhaps open it up and talk us through some of the pages?
Yeah, yes. That was a page. It shows a flightless parrot.
Mm-hmm.
A coat of arms that were made up. Flightless parrot saying "No talk and no fly."
Who drew those?
Well, I copied that. It was I don't know who the original artist was, but I copied it as a start.
Is that the first thing in the book?
The first thing was the Sargon, which is where doing this calligraphy was. It's their coat of arms. I don't know where I got that from. But I didn't know it. I must have copied it.
Did you copy or draw these things actually in the camp?
Yes, yes. I didn't touch this book after I came home. That was P.O. Poon, who always did everything wrong in the Air Force manuals. We had special information manuals, and they had this P.O. Poon, and he was a well-known character.
So was that drawn from memory?
That was, yes. This one shows Donald Duck behind bars saying it, underneath entitled "I Wanted Wings." And then these were black and white pencil drawings. We weren't allowed ink. We had pencil drawings. That was the Lancaster, and that one was the Halifax. That was the Wellington, and that was those 3. Now this one was, the goons were the guards in the camp who went round looking for anybody that was doing something they shouldn't. They would walk into a room and look round to see that, there was nothing illicit going on. And this is just a cartoon about that. This one was a cartoon about the kitchen. There was a kitchen at the end of each hut, and you were allocated so long to do any cooking that you wanted to do with the food that we got. And in that time, you had to get that food ready. Ready or not, it was when your time was up, you were out, and that was it.
So how many people did you have to cater for on that kitchen?
In the kitchen? Well, at first there was about 12 of us, I think, in the room, and there were, I've got it down there somewhere. I thought I had. Not here. And there were, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 rooms. So there'd be 9,600 men in a hut. And as I say, you were allowed so much time in the kitchen, and that was it for a meal.
And what sort of food was it? You say you had Red Cross parcels. What did you get in them?
Well, we got things like spam, tinned meat, biscuits, and tinned milk, powdered milk, basic things like that. So Christmas time, we got special parcels at Christmas. This one was showing a fed-up German guard on the top, and another man that he's digging a tunnel. Which was.
Did the goons come and look at your book?
I don't know. There was always the fear that they would, or not the fear, but that was why we tried not to put anything in it that would sort of get their attention. At the end, when the Russians were advancing, and when the second front started, we had maps and drew some maps in. But they're right at the end of the thing, and we thought, I thought, we'd get away with it if we do. But we weren't supposed to have. And there was always that thing that, see, every now and then, we had what they called a pell in the morning, which was a roll call. And we used to parade out on the outside, and every hut, there was count us up to see that everything was in order. Every now and then, they would keep the men out, seal the hut up, and then go through it and search everything. The German guards would search right through the hut. And that was when they could possibly have looked at this. I don't know whether they did or not.
Did you keep it hidden?
Sorry?
Did you hide it?
No, I just put it on the bed.
I just wondered what they would think if they saw that cartoon on the previous page.
Oh, they were quite open-minded about that sort of thing. We had concerts in the theatre. We built a theatre. We had concerts in the theatre, and we do skits on mimicking the German officers and that. And they used to attend these concerts and used to laugh along with the rest of us. So the theatre was quite a thing, actually. There was a chap from our squadron, another plane from our squadron was shot down the same night as I was. And the navigator of that plane and myself, we knew each other on the squadron and became quite good friends. Now, he was a master carpenter. And the Germans said, there's one empty hut there. If you want to make that into a theatre or something like that, you can do. And this chap looked at me. We had the Red Cross parcels used to come in plywood boxes, you know, tea chests, the old tea chests, which come in boxes like that. And what he did, he took the sides, took off the sides of these boxes and made seats from them. And in the hut, he took the floor off and he lowered it at one end, and with the soil that he was taking out to lower it, it made it higher at the other end, so we had a sloping auditorium. And then he did all these seats, and then at the other end he made a stage with exits and whatnot on each side, and it was quite a wonderful job, really. And it took quite a while, but of course I was working at it all day, nothing else to do. As I said, it was a wonderful job.
You haven't talked about that page.
This page? Oh, another chap did that for me. That's a German film actor, and I asked him to put something in the book for me. And he was the other guitarist in the band. There were two guitarists, me and this chap. And he wrote that in. I drew that rather. That is a poem called Bomber Command. And this is The Lie in the Dark and Listen by Noel Coward. So I had that, but I did the illustrations around the sides of the various things. And as I said, it was read out at the they do on Friday.
The open memorial.
The memorial does, yeah.
So did you have to write that poem down from memory, or was it? Did you?
No. Somebody had it written down, and they loaned it to me, so I could copy it. That was a chap that was shot down on Mustangs, fighter pilot, and he drew that with apologies to the former drawings that I did. He did one like that to copy them. That was a drawing of the Tyne Bridge. Being a Geordie, that was a bit nostalgic. That was a Canadian. I drew that and acted about one of the Varga girls they used to get, be very popular during the war. And I drew that. And then a Canadian who came to our room later on. He asked me to do another. He says, "Could you put one of those, do that again in my logbook?" And he said, "But this time make a topless." So I did. And that was another one by somebody else. It shows hunted dogs. And that the Craigies on the Craigie was short for Craigie Flanagan and was prisoner of war.
How did you decide what to put on each page, or?
Sorry?
How did you decide what to put on each page? Or some have been done by other people.
Or just ask them to put get a blank page and ask them to put something on it, to draw something. That one was drawn as No Rest for the Devil. There's somebody clearing a table. And that was done by the chap I was telling you about, the chap that built the theatre. This one was a parody on the poem If You Can, by Rudyard Kipling. And it was about escaping. If you can leave the compound undetected and clear your way, and clear your tracks, leave the slightest trace, and follow out the program you've selected, lose your grasp or distance, time and place. And it goes on to describe, if you can do this, then you'll reach home. That was a pencil drawing by somebody else. Somebody else did that one. Another chap. Oh, that one was, I did that. I sort of designed and drew that watercolours. And it was in memory of those men that were shot after escaping, the Great Escape. And I drew that in memory. There's all their names in there. When that happened, we heard about it before the German guards did. We knew about it then. And we used to talk to the German guards and barter with them for, a cigarette would get you perhaps one egg or something like that, barter. And when we heard about it, we said, well, that's it. No more friendliness with the Germans, cut them out. And the Germans couldn't understand this. They asked, why aren't you talking to us? What was wrong? And eventually we told them what was wrong, and they wouldn't believe us. They didn't know about it. They wouldn't believe us. They said, oh, no, we wouldn't do such a thing. And they were absolutely horrified when they found out it was true. So, mind you, the guards themselves, they were not the goons. The goons were, or ferrets we used to call them as well. The ferrets, they went round looking for trouble. But the guards themselves, they were more or less the equivalent of our home guard. People who were too old for active service or medically unfit for active service. And so they put them on prisoner of war guards. That was the Squadron Crest, 50 Squadron Crest. It cost me a £5, that one did. because on the crest, actually, there's a cloak with a sword, and it shows the sword cutting the cloak. And I put it the other way around, the sword resting on the cloak. So I drew it from memory, and I got it wrong. And another chap said, that is wrong. He said, it should be cutting. I said, no. He said, I'll bet you a £5, that's right. So I had to cough up a £5 when we got back home. That was more or less a view of the camp, the sort of aerial view from memory. No, another man did that for me. That was the motive that was on the front of the music stands for the band when we played. Because I played in the band.
Yeah, you mentioned you played guitar.
I played guitar, yes.
When
I got there, I was, with my leg being a bit dicey, I was in hospital for about 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And while I was there, now this lad that was shot down with me told the band leader that I played piano. Now, I did, but not very well. The band leader came to see me and asked me if I would play in the band. I said, I'm not good enough to play in the band. I said, I do play guitar. So he said, he said, we've got 2 guitarists already. So I said, I'm not good enough to play in the band on the piano. So we left it at that. Then this West Indian chap came to see me. He said, I'm the other guitarist in the band. He said, no, I'm not interested really in the band music. He said, I'm more of calypsos and that sort of thing. He said, if you'd like to take over the guitar for the band, he said, I'm quite happy to hand it over to you. He said, but I'd just like to borrow it every now and then to have a bit of a strum. So, and that man was, I don't know if you've heard of him, Cy Grant. That was Cy Grant. And every now and then we used to get together, and I used to get the other guitar, and we used to go off and find a quiet place and do a bit of, I would show him band rhythms, and he would show me calypso rhythms and things. We exchanged that, and then we'd have a little bit of a sing-song to ourselves. But when you started singing or anything like that, inevitably somebody would hear and there would be a gathering, and then you would get the people, sing this, play this, and so, and it used to spoil it then. But we used to manage to get some time together. Well, this page is entitled Prisoner of War, and it's by Churchill, written when he was a prisoner of war with the Boers. And I'll read it to you. It is a melancholy state. You are in the power of your enemies. You owe your life to his humanity, your daily bread to his compassion. You must obey his orders, waiting his pleasures. Possess your soul in patience. The days are long. The hours crawl by like paralytic centipedes. Moreover, the wholesale atmosphere of prison, even the best and most regulated prisons, is odious. Companions quarrel about nothing at all, and you get the least possible enjoyment from each other's company. You feel a constant humiliation at being fenced in by railings and wire, watched by armed guards, and webbed by a triangle of regulations and restrictions. Nothing puts it in a nutshell, really. Of course, a wonderful man with words was Churchill, wasn't he? That's just a poem that somebody wrote about the second camp we were in. man that did it he was the drummer in another camp. He came to this camp, and he was desperate to learn guitar. And I used to show him a bit about it. He was pretty good, actually. And he says, "Thanks for all the guitar, Jen." That was a cartoon thing, sort of cartoon, about the march, the long march, which we did, where there's this man dragging his sledge behind him. That was a portrait done by a Polish officer. It's supposed to be me, I don't know. I suppose it is. And that one was profile done by an American friend later on. And so we come to that part of the book was finished. The photographs, they went missing some time ago when I loaned the book to somebody. Oh, this was the layout of the hut beforehand. This is the layout of the field, the camp, all the different huts, a garden, and the toilet block, and whatnot. That was the layout of the room. How many rooms were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 rooms. 12 rooms, and there were about 12 in a room, I think. 14, I was bored. Somebody was a bit careless and spilled ink all over it. These were various theatre groups, the band with the membership, and we used to have a swing quartet as well, playing jazz things. We had a tango section, and there was a classical orchestra. They used to scrape away at times, with the violins. And these were all theatre productions, which we did in the theatre. These were various shows that we did in the camp. We used to put these band shows on, variety shows, sort of Night at the Palladium type things. Some of them were very good. These are the Red Cross parcels that told you what the Red Cross parcels had in them. Were corned beef, meat galantine, powdered eggs, such condensed milk, margarine, sugar, chocolate, biscuits, processed cheese, cocoa, salmon, jam and tea. It was quite a good selection. These were different recipes that we had. One of the main topics of conversation in the camp was food. Of course, we were always hungry. And we used to tell it with our mouths drooling over what we used to, favourite foods and recipes for making them and things. That's another one that went missing, was what we had for a Christmas dinner. Is this the start of the day? Oh, that's a typical day at Belaria. Belaria, incidentally, was the name of the camp that I was in, Stalag 3. When we went there, I think we were the first batch of new prisoners in that camp. They had taken some from the Stalag 3. It was part of Stalag 3, but they'd taken some from the other camps to get it ready for us going in, for the new batch of prisoners going in. So we were one of the first lots in there. It was, as I say, it was a new camp.
So, what was a typical day like?
What? Oh, excuse me. Where are we? Went back a bit, didn't it?
I think it's later on than that. I think you're going the wrong way.
No, wait. Lost it. Sorry about this.
That's all right. Perhaps you could tell me from your memory.
Well, oh yeah, it is. Typical day, 9 a.m. There was an issue of hot water for washing. 10 a.m. the Pell, that was the parade, the Grand Parade. 2:30, hot water issue again for tea and drinks. 4 o'clock, the afternoon count, the afternoon appel. 7 o'clock, evening period. Dinner prepared and usually consists of potatoes and whatever vegetables the goons gave us, and with corned beef or anything else that we had to go with it. 10 o'clock was time for lights out. Nothing and down. 12 o'clock was lights out. 10 o'clock was time on the stove to boil the water for a hot drink at night. And that was about the day. Nothing much. In between times, I was lucky in as much as playing the guitar and being in the band. It kept me occupied. So that was, we were always arranging music, and we got a lot of arrangements from the Red Cross, American arrangements, but we used to do special arrangements and practicing, of course. And when the brass section were doing the practice, they did it on their own, but they needed some rhythm, so I had to go along and accompany them. And the same happened when it was the saxophone section. You know, used to go along and give them a bit of rhythm to help them along. So that was all going, as I said, filling the time in. I was lucky with that. That was a review of Lukenwald. That was that drawing by Bill Reed, with AC, who did that drawing for me. He was in the room next to me. We became good friends. I don't know when this started. This was a diary. This was just little thumbnail sketches about life in the camp.
Can you talk me through some of those little? Can you talk me through some of the little sketches? Can you talk? Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about some of those ones?
This one is two chaps walking around. We used to walk around the perimeter track for exercise. This was somebody playing netball, which we did quite a lot of. That was one of the group captains. What's he doing? Or it's somebody else walking. This is when the water was up, you're running to get the water. Then somebody's done something wrong, being sent to the cooler. This was Belaria air. Every now and then the toilets were open, just pits dug in the ground with so quite big actually. It would be quite a lot of cubicles, well not cubicles, but divisions in it. And every now and then they brought this great big tank around and emptied it. And it used to smell quite a bit. Somebody playing a game of soccer, yeah. And that was somebody with a peg on the nose when the abortus were called, it was being emptied. Somebody sitting in a tub having a bath. Then sweet dreams, somebody climbing there and there's dreaming. That's washing up time. Half of a man, he is saying, I'm only half the man I was, I'm already half parcels. And this is the new arrivals. See, everybody used to crowd around us to find the new arrivals. And then it was question time after that, asking what's going on back home and everything like that.
Oh, so they were linked to home?
Yeah. But instead of getting it from the Germans. Of course, we did have a radio, and we used to assemble this radio every night for the 6 o'clock BBC 6 o'clock news. And there's a story to tell about that. I said we used to barter with the Germans. Well, this radio was taken to pieces after the broadcast and distributed among different men. Sort of a part was discovered, just a part. But there was one part went wrong one time. It was valves in those days. I think it was a valve or something like that. Something important. So we said to one of the goons, would you, bring this in? Oh no, too risky, that is. Now, if a goon discovered something important, like a tunnel, he was given instant promotion and a week's leave. So we had started a tunnel, but we never got a tunnel really going at Belaria because the water table was high. So when we got down to a certain level, we hit water. So what we did, we took one of these that we started and patched it up. And we said to this goon, if you tell us, if you bring that part in, we will show you where there's a tunnel. And of course his eyes lit up, a tunnel, And so he brought the part in, and we showed him the tunnel. He brought the commandant in, went and informed the commandant. The commandant donned a pair of white overalls and came round and inspected the tunnel for himself. And came round all smiles, oh, you can't fool us, And the goon got his week's leave, and we got the valve. So everybody was happy all round. So that was that. That was just through the ages. That was night school, playing cards. This was the outboard, which is the toilets again. The outboard serenaders. We used to go in there. One place you could go in there, and they wouldn't get a crowd in, bothering you. And then this was rumours. You started at the top with, I don't know what they're saying, and then it ends up with something entirely different. Rumours. You got those a lot. This was a letter from the commandant, our SBO, the senior British officer, to the Germans, to the Russians. When the Russians released us, they didn't actually release us. They kept us still as prisoners. they let us walk a certain distance round the camp to the south and west, south and west, and the other sides were too dangerous to go in. But they wouldn't let us be repatriated. They kept us prisoners. We were freed on early in April, and we were freed last week in May. And in that time, they still held us more or less as prisoners. We listened to the VE Day celebrations in England on the radios, and we weren't very happy. And the Americans got to know that all these prisoners there, so they sent a convoy of lorries to the camp to take us out. And the Russians wouldn't let us go. And some of the lads sort of ignored them and went to get onto the lorries, and the Russians fired over their heads and made them come back. And the lorries went away empty. So it wasn't a very good situation, actually. And this was a letter that the senior British officer wrote to the Russians complaining about this treatment, which I copied out. It's a long letter, so I won't read it. But in effect, he's telling them that it was disgraceful, that the treatment we were receiving was not anything like the treatment they promised. Because when they released us, they promised us all sorts of things. And I think the only thing we got was a couple of radios. But we were going to get food and goodness knows what, we didn't. So that passed by.